Hi friends, this is Caitlin. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to the Sweet November Stamps Enchanted Spring YouTube hop. Today I'm going to be working with these sweetest little wees. These are the Rainy Day Fairwees from the new stamp set, as well as this Heffy Doodle die that I'm absolutely in love with. I got it for a recent collab between Heffy Doodle and Sweet November Stamps, and I didn't get to use it before. It's called the Imperial Storyboard dies. I think Imperial just has to do with the sizing of it. But I started out by cutting out the frame with my Copic Express It paper, and all the little windows that came out of it, I'm going to use those to stamp my images. So this is going to be a fun storyboard collage style card. I don't usually do these, but I keep seeing everyone having these like stamp, right? They look like postage stamp style cards. And so I didn't want to be, just like everybody else, but this was kind of my nod to that. And I'm so in love with how it turned out. So I'm starting out by stamping all of my images onto those Copic Express It little squares with my Honeybee Stamps Intense Black ink. That's my go-to for Copic coloring. And I am stamping in my Misty platform just so I can make sure that I'm getting everything lined up the way I want it. So while I'm stamping, let me tell you all of the details for this hop. So we are celebrating, like I said, that Enchanted Spring hop. This new collection came out this past weekend. Well, it's Sunday now, so it came out yesterday. But if you're watching this later on, it is a new stamp set that has 10 new spring-inspired sets. And to play along, all you have to do is visit each of the YouTube accounts that are listed below in the description, subscribe to their channel, like their YouTube hop video, and leave a comment. So there's only 8 videos for you to watch, and you have 4 days to hop along with us. So you have plenty of time to make your way through those. The hop is going to be from today, Sunday, April 14th, until Wednesday, April 17th. And then one randomly selected winner will be announced on Thursday, April 18th, 2024, around 5 p.m. Pacific time over on the Sweet November Stamps Instagram and Facebook accounts. So check over there on Thursday to see if you're the lucky winner. But I hope that you will take a chance to go through all of these. We do have a couple new design team members. And so this is like their first YouTube hop with the team. And I am so excited for you guys to see what they've created, because these are like next level in my opinion. So now that I have all of my images stamped out, I am going to go in and start coloring. All of my little rectangles are going to get this BG11 kind of colored in these little tiny circles as the sky kind of background layer. I just wanted that for kind of continuity to run throughout. And because I knew I wanted to go with a kind of teal color scheme, I did pick a teal Catherine Pooler ink to stamp my sentiment in. And I love this sentiment. It says, "You can't have a rainbow without a little rain." And I just think that's such a fun kind of like honest and slightly inspiring without being, too cheesy. But it fits so perfectly with all of these little Fairwees hiding under their leaf umbrellas and flower umbrellas from the rain. So I'm going to go in with the same G combo for all of these as well. We're going G29, I believe, G09, and then YG25. We're going to use those throughout. I really like working with a limited color scheme for a card like this, where each scene is kind of broken up. So I think having similar colors across them helps to link them together, just so your eye kind of has a little continuity to follow. For this little Fairwee, I'm going with my kind of standard Caucasian skin tone, going E04, E13, E11, and then an E00, and a little R24 at the blush. Her raincoat is going to be some really bright kind of fuchsia RV markers. I just love how the little pop of this fuchsia and then the other Fairwee is going to get yellow. And I love those colors kind of popping against all of this like cooler toned color story that's happening with all of this teal and green. And I think that's what really makes it spring. You could 100% use this same set for fall and it would be beautiful. I fully intend on using it for fall and giving them some like pumpkin spice and jewel toned colors and making the background a little more dreary maybe, and I think it would still be absolutely beautiful. That's one of the things that I love most about Sweet November stamps is how versatile Amy's illustrations are, that you can really change them up just depending on how you're coloring. So I decided to keep her hair light because I knew that my other Fairwees was going to have a deeper skin tone and therefore darker hair. Well, you don't have to do darker hair, right? They're Fairwees. You can have any color hair. But I did go with kind of a softer, dirty blonde, if you will, with my E40s. I gave them both the same color wings. So I went with the BV01 and BV000 for both of them, putting the BV01 closer to the center part of the wing, closer to the back, like her back. And then the BV000 on the outer sections. That flower stem got colored in the same greens as our leaf from earlier. And this is those yellows that I was saying I was going to be bringing in, Y19, Y15, and Y11, just for a really happy, cheerful, sunshine yellow. And then to bring in that pink one more time, I decided to use the same colors from the other raincoat to shade in our little flower petals here. Again, just kind of creating that limited color palette across multiple scenes so they all look, even if they're not in the same space as each other physically, they're in the same like little garden, right? They're by the same little pond. This is where I went in with that BG11 marker again. Instead of worrying about this being super smooth or having to bring in any other colors, I just did those tiny little circles for all of these backgrounds because I liked the kind of like cloudy, it gave me that feeling of like cloudy and a little rainy or drizzle. Everything's a little blurry. And it took the stress off of me feeling like I had to have a beautiful blend. I could focus on my characters. So for this skin tone, I went with E39, E37, and then I believe I'm going to go E35. There we go. I am going to pop a little bit of a brighter red on her cheeks. I think I cut it out, but I believe it was R22 instead of 20. And then for her hair, I did want it to be nice and deep and like a rich brown. So I'm going E49 to start kind of giving definition to her curls. And I'm really following Amy's lines here and following the shapes that are already being created to add in those extra curls. Then I'm going to go in with E59 to start kind of thickening up all of those lines. I'll go over this whole thing with E57, and then what I'm going to do is go back in with the E49 one more time to really deepen and enhance the curls that I want to have stand out, and that extra little bit of depth is going to help to pull the color back down a little bit too. I didn't want her hair to look too close to her skin tone. That's also why I went with 30s on her skin versus the 49 and the 50s on her hair, just so they'd have a little bit of a different undertone. Both of the fairies' wings got this Lawn Fawn glitter pen for a little shimmer. If you have the like classic shimmer pin, I don't even remember who makes it. Everybody has the same shimmer pin, it feels like, and I don't have it because I got this Lawn Fawn one in the very beginning because I was just like a Lawn Fawn diehard, and now I'm refusing to buy the other one until this one runs out, and it feels like it's never going to run out. It hasn't gotten any drier, any less easy to use, and I've had it for a couple years. So I think we're just in it. This is just my shimmer pen for now, forever. For this little sweet snail, I love him so much. He used to be only available as a digital, and I have used him before as a giant snail in a card that I love. I absolutely love how that card turned out. So I was so excited to see him back in a miniature form. And so I wanted to give him his own little scene, his own spotlight. So I am shading him in with some softer greens, and we'll use those again for our frog. And I'm shading in the shell with the 57 59, 57, 55 again to kind of tie back into using those in other areas, but I didn't want him to match the ground. So same idea, right? I feel like a broken record over here, keeping that limited color palette. To add some grass, I am flicking, holding my hand, I'm putting my wrist down on the table and I am pushing down with more force on the bottom where the dirt layer is, right where our horizon line is, and flicking my hand up without moving my wrist off of the table and kind of just turning my wrist a little bit. So I end up getting a much thinner natural line at the end of my little grass stroke. And I practice that regularly on scrap paper to make sure that I'm getting the kind of movement that I want. So if you feel intimidated by kind of making your own grass or adding your own background, getting that nice natural taper on the end, please take a couple minutes once a week, maybe. If like, it doesn't have to be every day. If you have time for every day, by all means, do it every day. But at least once a week, take some time and practice kind of stippling and flicking motions and getting that taper on the end. It'll make a huge difference in your scenes. So for this little frog, I used the same browns from my ground color. I added the same BG. I think we went either 15 or 13. I put the cap on the screen. I'm so sorry. With BG11 and BG10 for his little pond, his little puddle he's in. I grabbed some warm gray markers for those little stones and just added a little bit of shading to the bottom and a couple little texture pieces to them. Again, going in with that BG11, I did have to refill this marker halfway through this video because she has been doing some work. I use this marker a lot. I also added a little hint of that color to the little water droplets. And then we're bringing back that G29 again. You know the drill. Our foliage is all getting the same color tones here. And then the same idea going in and adding grass across that background. In hindsight, I was thinking about going in and adding some grass behind my little Fairwees, but I kind of like the idea that you don't know if they're flying or they're standing where they are. So I just decided to leave it. It would be pretty either way. So I kind of like that 2 of my scenes didn't have it and 2 of them did, but looking at them all the way across, it would also be cute to have grass all the way across. I don't know. You let me know down in the comments. That can be your comment contributing to your stop here on the YouTube hop. Would you add grass to all of them, or do you like that some of them have it and some of them don't? I'm curious to see what you guys think. So I grabbed those same soft green markers for my frog as I did on my snail. That was the YG60, where are you? YG67, 63, and 61. And he's just so cute. He's like just chilling in his little puddle bath. I stippled in a little bit of like freckles almost here and there with that YG67. I gave him some little brown eyes. I reinforced those highlights with a white gel pen. Same on the teardrop, the little water droplets. And I grabbed this piece. I'm pretty sure it's retired product, not expired, retired from My Favorite Things. I think that's what it is. It's old, this polka dot. I'm just trying to use up some of this pattern paper. But this is the tropical teal paper, solid cardstock. And I thought I was going to have a white frame. But then once I saw it all done, I decided I really wanted some bolder color. So I die cut a second layer of that frame from that tropical teal, My Favorite Things cardstock. I also added some BG11 to the little scallops around my sentiment. I went in with a thin layer of, you can see I flipped it upside down on accident, of glue along that white frame and just popped that teal frame right on top. I went in with a little bit more of that liquid glue all the way around, and I'll get that situated onto my pattern paper base first, and then we will pop in all of those extra little scene pieces. This was so easy. I don't know what I was expecting it doesn't look hard. Like, I get that. But it was so much easier even than I thought it would be to put this whole thing together, just not having used a set like this in a long time. So my little Fairwees went across the top. I did purposefully put them in the order they are, so they're kind of both facing into the middle. My frog went into his spot, and then that little scalloped sentiment went into its, and I love that you can see the little dots kind of all the way around that. So thank you so much for coming to hang out with me. Please hop along for your chance to win. I don't even know if I said the prize. Hold on, let me check. Oh my gosh, I totally buried the lead. You're winning the entire 10-piece stamp set, the whole collection. So 100%, please hop along for your chance to win the entire Enchanted Spring collection. And I will see you back here so soon. Thank you so much. And until next time, happy crafting.